Welcome to Blonde Cards and Crafts. Let's make something together. Hello everyone, today I am going to make 2 cards using the products that comes free in the Papercraft Essentials magazine issue 180. You can see here that the freebie is like a big paper pack and it's an 8x8 pack. It comes with 10 topper sheets, 5 foiled cardstock and 20 printed cardstock. A lovely assortment in this. It's really rich looking and I love the colours. They're all in purples and blues and golds and pinks. Really lovely. So let's get started on our 2 cards. My card base measures 12 by 6 and we need to put a couple of score lines on this. So I'm going to get out my scoring tool. So our first score line needs to be at 5 1/4, and then our next one needs to be at 6 3/4. Then we're going to flip over our card base, and then we're going to score it at 3, and then we'll score it at 9. There we go. Now we're going to flip our card base back over and we're going to burnish our score lines. So I'm going to use my scoring tool for that, even though I have put it back into the little flap there. Look, take it back out, Simone. Yeah, there we go. So the small score lines that we did that are at 5 1/4 and 6 3/4, we're going to burnish those first. And it's, you know, what I found really hard when I started crafting was when I do a score line, how do I know which way? Like if I score down like this, how do I know which way to fold the paper? Am I folding it back towards me or away from me? And I realized then that when you score down, you break the fibers. So when you score down on your score line, then you push the pages or the paper away from you, and that will give you a mountain fold, and that's what I'm doing here. I don't know, maybe I'm a little slow guy, but that took me ages to actually understand which side I needed to burnish. Hello Ghost, I don't know if you can hear the little footsteps of nails on the floor, but that's Ghost come in to visit. I've burnished my 2 center score lines and their mountain folds. And now I'm going to burnish the 2 outer score lines, and these are going to become our valley folds. And you're going to see that each end, when it's folded in, going to meet in the middle of our card. Lovely. I'm going to use my scoring tool then to burnish those score lines there. So we have a nice crisp crease. And this is the profile of our card base. This is our pop-out gatefold card. So now all we need to do is embellish all the sides of this, the outsides, the middle and the insides, and I'm going to do both the front and the back. And I'm going to show this tutorial is for 2 cards, and we're going to use the same size for both cards. So I'll give the measurements once and just review them the second time with the second card. So this is a matte layer, and this piece measures 5 3/4 by 2 3/4, and it's going to sit there like that. So there'll be a white layer, and then we'll have our paper layer then on top. So I'm going to have 2 on the front and 2 on the back. So altogether we need 4 of these. So again, we need 4 pieces measuring 5 3/4 by 3 3/4. And then we need 4 pieces of our patterned paper to go on top. So we want 2 pieces the same for the front, and then 2 pieces that are different for the back. So 2 for the front and then 2 for the back. Now you can do them, the 4 of them, the same, but I have decided to do 2 for the front and then 2 different pattern papers for the back. So our pattern papers need to measure 5 1/2 by 2 1/2. And like I said, we're going to need 4 of those. Now you could actually do them all the same if you wanted, but like I said, I'm going to do them different. Then we need another 4 white mats And these four measure 5 3/4 by 2, and then we need 4 pieces of patterned paper, and these measure 5 1/2 by 1 3/4. And we're also going to need 2 pieces of white card measuring 1 1/2 by 5 1/4, and they're going to be for the sentiment that are on the back. Next we need our center panel pieces. For these we're going to need 2 pieces of white card, and they measure 1 1/4 by 5 3/4. And then we'll need 2 pieces of patterned paper, and they'll measure 5 1/2 by 1 inch. Now I have 2 different pieces, one for the front and one for the back. We're going to look at our die cut elements. Now I have this rectangular one here. It says Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and this one measures 1 1/2 by 5 1/8. And then my matte layer, which is in the purple, is 1 5/8 by 5 1/4. So that gives us a border going all around of about 1/8. So it'll be nice and thin. Lovely. Next I have a piece of purple cardstock measuring 4 1/2 by 1/2, and one of the die cut elements that measures 4 1/4 by 3/4 of an inch. And that is going to go on my belly band. And I have everything here that I need for the belly band. Now you can have your length of paper whatever size you like, but this is the length of my A4 sheet of white paper. Now I've cut it at 1.5 inches wide, and this works out at about 11 3/4 long. I also wanted to wrap some of the purple card around the belly band, but I didn't have a piece long enough left. This piece that I have here, it measures 1.25 inches, and it's about 4 inches long, but it only needs to be 3 inches long, because I'll have my square piece that you can see just down there at the bottom. Here it is. That piece is going to meet in the middle. So the purple pieces just need to be long enough to meet in the middle. So I have my die cut element here, and this measures 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. I have a white piece that's 3 1/2 by 3 1/2, and then I have a purple piece that measures 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. I've seen some of the crafters on YouTube using this Collal Glue, and I thought I'd give it a go. I got some on Amazon, and I got 3 bottles shipped. I do have the Aleene's tacky glue as well as the Nuvo Glue. The Nuvo Glue I love. It doesn't leave any marks or anything behind. And I have that ordered. I have that and some of the Scotch 3M foam tape ordered, and I'm waiting for that to come with my Love from Lizzie kit. So I'm using this new Collal, well, it's new to me, Collal Glue. I have to say there is a bit of a glue odor off it. It's okay, but my other glues don't have any smell. But then this glue dries really strong, it dries really hard, so it gives a really firm, like, with all those mats and layers, this is really solid. It nearly feels like chipboard, the card itself, where the layers have been glued down. So it is very good. The only thing I found, and this is just for me using it for a first time, you need to, less is more, and any excess, you need to wipe it off. With the Nuvo Glue, if I have any excess, it just dries clear. You don't even see it's there, but the Collal Glue does leave a little bit on it. So yeah, I like it. I think I will use it when I want something to be really thick and strong. Otherwise, I think I'll stick to either my Nuvo Glue, which would be my first choice, or my Aleene's tacky glue. That would be my second choice. But the Collal Glue is good. Now, I'm not putting it down per se. I'm just saying it would rank third for me. So I'm gluing down all my pattern paper onto my white cardstock, and then I'm gluing them down onto my card base. I'm going to take my large rectangular sentiment, and I have stuck that down onto the purple back. And this is going to just need some glue down the middle of it because we want that to sit nicely on that center panel. Now these are the two little extra white card pieces, and these are going to have the sentiment on. Now I should have stamped down my sentiment before I stuck them on the card, but I'm going to do that afterwards. This is the stamp set that I'm going to use, and I got this free in a crafting magazine. It's Card Making and Papercraft magazine, and that was a recent magazine that I got that free in. Here I have my long strip of card, and I have stuck the purple paper onto it, and I lost a bit of footage doing that. Basically what you need to do is take your white length of card, wrap it around the actual card itself, and then that'll give you the width of the belly band. So onto that I'm sticking down my square piece. Now I have this stuck upside down and nobody noticed it. I've posted it up on, Instagram and stuff before. I've uploaded the video and done this editing for it, but I do edit it and I will show it to you edited in the pictures at the end. So now we're moving on to card number 2. Here I've all my mats and layers stuck down, and I'm just going to stick them down now onto the base of my card. With this second card you'll see towards the end that I have left how to put the belly band on, as we missed out on that with our first card. So I'm going to let the background music play, and I'll come back to you then once I've finished putting this card together. So here I'm going to put my large sentiment on the front of the card, but it just looks unbalanced with the purple bauble paper there on the right hand side, and the reason I put that there was I didn't have enough of the other paper with the hanging baubles. So I've cut out a strip and put that over. So now it looks balanced on either side, and then I can go ahead and put my large sentiment, which will pop out at the front. So now for the belly band, I have a large strip of paper here, and it's 1.5 inches wide, and I'm wrapping it from the back of the card to the front. Then I'm taking another strip of paper, and this is going to go over the belly band strip because it doesn't meet in the middle. It's going to be our bridging piece. So I'm just going to put some tape on either side because we don't want to stick it onto the middle, and then a piece of sticky tape for our Christmas tree icon. I have another sentiment here which is going to go across that in the middle, and I'll try and get that straight. And then I'm going to add some sequins. These are like a diamante sequins to the front. So that's it folks, that's our 2 cards, our 2 pop-up inside panel cards. I hope you've enjoyed the tutorial, and if you have, you might click on the like button down below by giving me a thumbs up. Thank you if you're a subscriber, and if not, you might consider hitting the subscribe button down below. And there's also a little bell. If you click on that, that'll notify you when I post some videos. So here's some images of our cards that we've made today. I'd like to also remind you that you can find me on Facebook and Instagram as well. I'd like to thank you for watching, and until next time, bye bye.